this morning rather, to really recognize Bay Day, and this is something that we've done for the past few years. It started with the World Prodigy oil spill back in 1989, and that was a major impact on the bay and the coastline. And since then, the governor after governor after governor has declared a Bay Day in the summer to really celebrate our environment and celebrate the value of Narragansett Bay to all of us. So welcome. We have a few remarks, and then we will move right on to signing a proclamation by the governor to make it official. So with that, I'd like to introduce the governor, Dan McKee.
Thank you, Director, and it's great again to be here. This never gets old because we enjoy this ocean state in so many ways. And today on the Bay Day 2025, the Governor's Bay Day, I'm happy to be here with the Speaker and the Mayor, along with all the reps and senators that are here from Warwick, which is a great place to be able to talk about Bay Day because look at what we got behind us here, right? And also the idea of the fishing and the fishing lessons that I've received. I don't think I have time today for another fishing lesson, but we got to make that happen. Happy to be here. Rhode Island is a place where people come because they love it. And the tourism is up again here in Rhode Island, and for many reasons. Clearly some of the work that I've done with the General Assembly, with destination marketing, the #1 airport on Travel Magazine in the country is here right in Warwick. People come here in many different ways, but the people I'm talking to today are people who love the state of Rhode Island. The people who live in our state and benefit from all the work that we do to keep our state looking really good, and with the 400 miles of trails that they can hike, the 8 beautiful beaches that we have, the state beaches that are free on Bay Day, and of course you cast a line and 200 fishing spots and no license needed. Whether you're into swimming or hiking or fishing, just relaxing, there's something for everyone here in the state of Rhode Island. So let's make the 36th Governor's Bay Day the best one yet. The weather looks good. So let's get outside and enjoy this great state that we live in. Enjoy the bay, celebrate what makes Rhode Island all that. And I thank you for having me here today again in Warwick, Mayor. And with that, I'd like to introduce our speaker, Speaker Joe Sacacci from Warwick.
Thank you, Governor. Thank you. Good morning, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here. Please forgive my voice. I'm fighting a little bit of a summer cold, but I would not miss this great event. It's a wonderful opportunity to be here to celebrate the Ocean State, and I can't think of a better place to do that than right here in Warwick. I think, and I'm going to be very biased when I say this, that Rhode Island is the best place in the world to be in the summertime. And the best place to be in Rhode Island, all due respect, Governor, but the Mayor will agree with me, is in Warwick. Because we have 39 miles of coastline in the city of Warwick, and the Mayor does a phenomenal job making sure that our beaches are open, our beaches are clean, and they're enjoyable for everybody. It's a wonderful story, and I did a little research, and this is the 36th Bay Day, and I'm like, well, when did it start, and why did it start? And I found out that 36 years ago, the World Prodigy ran aground at Breton Reef, and unfortunately deposited 300 gallons of heating oil, which washed ashore, killed our fish and seabirds, closed our beaches and shellfish beds. And that's when Bay Day began, that same year, to celebrate Bay Day. And today, Bay Day continues to honor its original intent. It's the perfect opportunity to get outside, enjoy Rhode Island's beautiful waters, abundant fisheries, sandy beaches, historic parks, and at the same time recognize the fragile ecosystem we have and the challenges to our environmental stewardship and how we need to protect them. Nobody does a better job of protecting our state's fragile environment than Terry Gray. I want to recognize him. I want to recognize Senator McKee, who's also from my home city of Warwick. And if I'm not mistaken, Senator McKee, we're in your district. You are. So this is very close for Mark's district. So it's an opportunity to be here. You know, we celebrate the beautiful landscape, but remember the bay is also an economic engine for our state, meaning shellfish. You know, I can think of so many good things to talk about, but the Rhode Island, Scott will talk us about the Rhode Island saltwater anglers, but this is the quahog capital of the world. Rhode Island, Joe McNamara is not here, but I will tell you, we are the calamari is our official appetizer for the state, and I continue to celebrate our beautiful state that we love. Thank you very much, and it gives me great pleasure to introduce my. Oh yeah, thank you. Great pleasure to introduce Senator McKinney and Warwick. But before I do that, I want to recognize Chairman Dave Bennett. And why is Dave here? Not only does he love Bay Day, he loves Warwick, but he's the chairman of our environmental committee. And David does a phenomenal job in balancing the needs of the environment and the business community, and he does a phenomenal job in a not easy committee. And David does a phenomenal job. We have seen in the last 4 years more environmental legislation in the history of Rhode Island than we've seen in the last 30 years. And that's in part due to a large part to David Bennett's efforts. The way he runs the committee, the way he treats people respectfully. So David, thank you for what you do, not only for representing the House and everything well, but the environment. And of course, I want to introduce my good friend, my Senator, Mark McKinney. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Welcome to God's country. This is Senate District 30. One of the senators from Providence started referring to me as the senator from Southern Warwick. I don't know anyone who refers to Southern Warwick, but I've kind of enjoyed that. So welcome to Southern Warwick. On behalf of Senate President Lawson and my Senate colleagues, I welcome you here. I'm proud to be here in my district in the city of Warwick and proud to be celebrating the 36th Governor's Bay Day. There's no need for me to recognize everyone here. Everyone up sitting here will be speaking and has already been covered. I will note that we have some members who haven't been recognized. Councilman Bill Muto, who happens to be my councilman here in Warwick. Director Kasim Yarn, appreciate his attendance. I think that covers the elected officials. You know, this bay, this shoreline that we're looking at, it's absolutely imperative because it's central to Rhode Island's history and its culture and its economy. It's imperative that we do everything we can to both recognize it and preserve it. There's no better time of year than this, mid-July, to be enjoying the precious resources that we have here in Rhode Island. And that includes, I think, some of the best beaches in the world in the summertime. Generations of families have come to Rocky Point and have picnicked and back in the day enjoyed the incredible rides that used to be here, made lasting memories each and every year. So we have thousands of people who come to all of our state parks in Rhode Island and enjoy camping and biking and fishing and hiking and much more. So I think Governor's Bay Day serves to reaffirm our shared commitment to making sure that these parks that we have, these open spaces, are able to be enjoyed. They're accessible to as many people as possible. And that's particularly at a time when the costs for a lot of families are increasing. I think that's more important than ever that we make sure that there's access. So Governor's Bay Day does that. I think it also reminds us that we are preserving and protecting these public spaces, and that is an ongoing project. It's been a cornerstone of this celebration since its inception and something that's deeply important to me. In that regard, we talked about the world prodigy and all of the oil that came into Rhode Island's shoreline and caused trouble. I think we're fighting a similar problem. I had a bill in this year for us to adopt a bottle bill, as many states have done, because we learned from the recent URI study that in the top 2 inches of base oil, there are over 1,000 tons of microplastics. So unless and until we deal with the problem of, first and foremost, plastics and metals that are going into our landfill, but perhaps more importantly, the ones that don't make it to our landfill, and certainly the ones that unfortunately are not being processed into new products as we would hope. All of those are breaking down and going into our highways and waterways and ending up in our beautiful bay. I'm very appreciative that the General Assembly did move forward and will be doing an implementation analysis for the bottle bill and for EPR, which is packaging materials, recycling those. And I want to thank particularly Director Terrence Gray. Terry Gray has not only done much for Rhode Island already, but he will be overseeing the effort to do that implementation analysis. I want to thank the governor as well, that and the speaker, and all of the folks who have come here today. Please take advantage of this wonderful Bay Day, and I hope the people of Rhode Island get out there and enjoy the incredible resources that we have. Thank you. And I'd like to, at this time, invite Director Gray to say a few words.
All right. Thank you, Senator. Thank you, Governor. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for attending this morning. Obviously, when we talk about Bay Day, everybody tends to focus on a great day that we get access to our parks and beaches. It's free parking, it's free fishing. The RIPTA will offer free bus rides down to the beaches as well, and that's important to get people to really realize what we have. Last September, we had the pleasure of hosting the environmental agency directors from all 50 states in Rhode Island, in the United States, and they came to Rhode Island and spent a week here. And more of those people came up to me and said, "Oh my God, you live in paradise." And when you look at a day like this and you look around, sometimes it's easy to forget about what we have right in our own backyard. Narragansett Bay is the heart and soul of Rhode Island, and really taking a day to celebrate that is important. I've been at DEM a long time. I actually was working at DEM when the World Prodigy happened, which is kind of scary, but it's a fact. And when you look back at the improvements in water quality in our bay, in our rivers, and our ponds over that time period, it's really quite amazing. Like the speaker said, we depend on the bay for recreational and commercial fishing, boating, shellfish, swimming, and sometimes just enjoying a cool breeze on a deck of a place like Iggy's, right? But it's right there. It's right in the center of our culture, and it really reflects the quality of life that we all enjoy here in the state. Narragansett Bay is a zero discharge body with respect to discharges from boats, and we've invested millions to create the infrastructure at marinas across the state to really kind of collect that and keep that material out of our waters. Our cities and towns have invested millions of dollars in improving infrastructure, and all of that is reflective in how clean the bay is right now. We've opened areas for shell fishing that have been closed for 70 years because of the water quality improvements that we've seen. Last month, DEM launched a pump-out vessel. Not a lot of fanfare for that. We haven't named it yet because nobody's really keen on having their name at the back of that particular boat. But that will help continue to create that culture of no discharges. With that, I think it's just important to remember what we have behind us. And it, like I said, it is central to the quality of life throughout the state. And I would like to take this time to finish up and introduce the mayor of our city of Warwick, Frank Bacozzi. Mayor?
Good morning and welcome to Warwick and welcome to Rocky Point. And I have to correct Senator McKee, this is Eastern Warwick. That's the bay. This is the 36th annual Governor's Bay Day. I want to thank Governor McKee for continuing this tradition and for once again choosing Rocky Point. I may be biased because I grew up about 3/4 of a mile from here, and there weren't many summer days I didn't spend my day here. But I think this is probably the most beloved acreage in all of Rhode Island. The memories here, and I want to acknowledge former Mayor Scott Aberdeen, who was so forward-thinking when he purchased the shoreline, and he worked with the DEM and the state and the elected officials back then to turn this into this beautiful park instead of high-end condos or houses where this would have been closed to the public. In honor of the Governor's Bay Day today and to show support of it, I'm going to sign an executive order also making the beaches of Warwick free that day. Thank you, short and sweet. Oh, and I'm sorry. It's my first press conference. Now it's my pleasure to introduce the Executive Director of the Saltwater Anglers Association, Scott Travers.
Thank you very much, Mayor. Good morning, everyone. As Rhode Island celebrates Governor's Bay Day, the Rhode Island Saltwater Anglers Association applauds the continued commitment of Governor Dan McKee and his administration to preserving the health and accessibility of Narragansett Bay, the ocean state's most cherished natural resource. Fishing appeals to our sense of adventure, it teaches us patience, and connects us to the environment. The Governor's Bay Day is more than just a day of free access. It's a reminder of how deeply our lives, our economy, and our coastal community depends on a clean and thriving bay. Narragansett Bay fuels Rhode Island's economy. It offers sustainable food sources and provides unmatched recreational opportunities. The Rhode Island Saltwater Anglers Association, a longtime advocate for clean water and equitable coastal access, sees the Governor's Bay Day as a vital opportunity to inspire the next generation of anglers, environmental stewards, and community leaders. Events like this encourage people to get outside, experience the bay firsthand, and build a lasting connection with the natural world. It's this connection that drives conservation and ensures the bay will remain a source and a resource that we can rely on for future generations. Again, we thank you, Governor McKee, and all those in your administration for your continued support and commitment to keeping Rhode Island's natural resources a priority. Thank you, everyone.
I'll just note that Scott and the Rhode Island Saltwater Anglers Association host a fishing camp for kids here every summer, and it's a perfect place to teach kids how to fish and to really appreciate Narragansett Bay. So now it's time to make this official, right? So I'd like to invite the governor to come up and take a look at the proclamation, sign it off, and then everybody else kind of gather around, please.
Right here, Bill. What's that?
Yep, we'll get everybody up here. I'm going to sign this. It's whereas marks the 36th anniversary of the Governor's Bay Day, which began in response, again, to the release of nearly 300,000 gallons of oil into Narragansett Bay after the tanker World Prodigy ran aground on Brenton Reef off Newport, Rhode Island on June 23rd, 1989. Sign it, make it official. Oops, gotta take the little thing off. There you go. Okay, it is official.
Right, there we go.
It's another Bay Day. And Jim, here, you're gonna come up and sign yours too?
There you go.
In fact, you can use my pen and you can take it. Take it home with you.
There you go.
Oh, you brought one? Okay, we can exchange. Okay, I love it.
Take his pen. Pen swap.
Okay, we'll exchange. Great. Thank you. I think that's correct. All right. All right, I think we're
Great. Thank you. That ends this morning. See you, Governor.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, I want to have